Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Evolution Tech. BMW's CEO has issued a warning to all non-electric vehicle (EV) manufacturers, signifying a watershed moment in the automotive industry. As the push for sustainability and electric mobility gathers traction, the CEO's statement might signal a sea change in the landscape of traditional auto manufacturing. Let's see more updates of it. Bayerische Motorenwerke (AAG), abbreviated as BMW, is a German multinational manufacturer of luxury vehicles and motorbikes located in Munich, Bavaria, Germany. The company was created in 1916 with the intention of producing airplane automobiles, are marketed under the BMW, Mini, and Rolls-Royce brands, while motorcycles are marketed under the BMW Motorrad brand. BMW was the world's 14th biggest producer of motorcars in 2017, with 2,279,503 vehicles manufactured, and will be the 7th largest by revenue in 2022. The firm has a long history in motorsport, particularly in touring vehicles, sports cars, and the Isle of Man TT. BMW is based in Munich and manufactures automobiles in Germany, Brazil, China, India, Mexico, the Netherlands, South Africa, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The Quandt family D has been a long-term shareholder of the corporation, thanks to investments made by the brothers Herbert and Harold Quandt in 1959, which saved BMW from bankruptcy, with the remaining shares owned by the general public. E-Engines, which it did from 1917 to 1918, and again from 1933 to 1945. Oliver Zipse, born the 7th of February 1964, is a German business entrepreneur who has served as BMW's chairman of the board of management, CEO, since August 16, 2019. Zipse graduated from Bensheim High School in 1983. From 1983 to 1985, he studied computer science and mathematics at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City, but did not graduate. He transferred to the Technische Universität Darmstadt in 1985 and graduated in 1991 with a degree in mechanical engineering. He also graduated from the Kellogg WU Executive MBA program in 1999, which is a joint MBA degree from the Kellogg School of Management in the United States and the WHU Otto Beisheim School of Management in Germany. According to one news report, under Zipse's watch, BMW's efficient production network, which he expanded in Hungary, China, and the United States, has helped the company deliver industry-leading profit margins despite its relatively small scale. Zipse was appointed chairman of the board, CEO, in July 2019, with effect on August 16, 2019. He was regarded as a decisive, strategic, and analytical leader by Norbert Reithofer, head of the supervisory board. BMW GDE Chief Executive Officer Oliver Zipse stated that enterprises must be careful not to become overly reliant on a few nations by focusing solely on electric vehicles, noting that there is still a market for combustion engine vehicles. When you look at the technology coming out, the EV push, we must be careful because at the same time, you increase dependency on very few countries, Zipse said at a roundtable in New York, emphasizing that China controls the majority of the supply of raw materials for batteries. Would you rather suggest that someone who can't afford an EV but still needs a car drives his old car forever? If you stop selling combustion engines, someone else will, Zipse remarked. He has long argued against outright restrictions on the sale of combustion engine vehicles, despite increased regulatory pressure on the auto sector to reduce carbon emissions and environmental damage. Offering more fuel-efficient combustion engine cars was critical both financially and environmentally, Zipse maintained, citing gaps in charging infrastructure and the expensive cost of electric vehicles. Companies must also plan for rising energy and raw material prices by becoming more efficient in their production and increasing recycling efforts to keep costs down, he said. We have a peak now. They might not stay at the peak, but they will not go back to former prices, he went on to say. How much energy you need and use and circularity is important for environmental reasons, but even more for economic reasons. It also demonstrates how bewildered people are about Tesla's supercharger network, despite its previous misgivings. BMW began paying more attention to politicians than to its customers, and it went all in on EVs in an attempt to persuade everyone to adopt the electric dream. Another impediment to the shift away from vehicles with polluting internal combustion engines is consumer reluctance to buy used electric cars, which hurts demand for brand new ones. In the $1 trillion, $200 billion used car market, battery-powered automotive prices are falling faster than those of their combustion engine brethren. Consumers are avoiding them since there are no subsidies, preferring to wait for improved technology and persistent flaws in the infrastructure for charging them. Rivals such as Volkswagen, AG, and Stellantis NVR are facing a revenue threat as a result of a severe pricing battle sparked by Tesla Inc., as well as Chinese versions that are competitive. Due to the fact that leases account for the bulk of new car sales in Europe, manufacturers and dealers financing these leases are attempting to offset their losses from dropping values by increasing borrowing charges, demand in some European markets that led the charge in the move away from leasing. This has a deleterious influence on fossil fuel-powered propulsion. Several of the top consumers of new autos, such as rental firms, are decreasing their EV adoption due to financial losses on resale. 6C, for example, has removed Tesla vehicles from its fleet, according to Christian, head of Volkswagen's financial services sector. Dale Hames stated, "When a car loses one of its value, I make one less profit." He estimated that difficulties with used EVs may cost the company billions of dollars in lost revenue. When many of the 1,200,000 electric vehicles sold in Europe in 2021 come to the end of their 3-year leases and enter the used car market. According to Matt Harrison, Chief Operating Officer of Toyota Motor Corp, there is little market for EVs among used automobiles in Europe. That fundamentally undermines the cost of ownership story. Although demand from ride-sharing companies and mobility solutions is low, organizations may nevertheless deploy battery-powered autos in these initiatives. Unwanted combustion vehicles frequently end up in Africa, where their poor condition causes environmental concerns. China warns that the market is effectively closed to them due to a lack of a functional infrastructure for EV charging. Rich subsidies transformed the country into an EV powerhouse, but they also resulted in a weed-infested cemetery of abandoned battery-powered vehicles. When Tesla began substantially lowering pricing in a bid to promote sales earlier this year, red signs concerning EVs began to appear. As other manufacturers followed suit, a pricing war ensued, reducing profitability for some and exacerbating already severe losses for others. According to sales statistics from ecars.com, a website that assesses autos and dealers, used EV prices declined by more than a third in the year through October. We'll return with additional details and videos. Please remember to like the video if you think it is informative and helpful. Please leave your comments, subscribe to our channel, and check back for more thought-provoking videos. Until then, bye.